Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski. You could call me Grizzer, a lot of people do, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and the tidbits that are tied to our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. And then we give you our take on those tidbits along the way. Thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes, who have subscribed to the channel, and all of you who get your comments down there in the viewer comment section. We could not do this show without you. Now, speaking of, what's coming up on today's show? Well, if you're worried that a retread coach won't get us a Super Bowl win, I have something that hopefully will calm your fears. If you think we're going to get a veteran free agent quarterback to back up Shedeur, you think we're going to find one? Well, I got something for you. Boy, oh boy, you got another thing coming. I have to tell you this. I saw the telltale sign that 100% tells me the Browns see Shedeur Sanders as their quarterback of the future. And then down in the viewer comments, the other thing the Browns will need in the new stadium other than a winning team. Wonder what that can be. We'll have to find out. Woo, down there in the viewer comments. But first things first, here's where we stand, at least at this point. Starting at the top, these are the people we've already talked to. Defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz, offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, Bengals OC Dan Pritchard, Seahawks DC Aiden Durd, Ravens OC Todd Monken. We've talked to him, but he's off to New York with Harbaugh. So Todd Monken won't be coming to Cleveland. Mike McDaniel, the former Dolphins coach, we've talked to him. Now, starting today, we will talk to Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter. But Minter's talking to everybody, just like Robert Saleh. And, geez, oh man, everybody's talking to everybody. So Minter's talked to like 19 teams already. Now he's going to talk to us today. Then you got Jaguars offensive coordinator Grant Udinski, who I like to call the Doogie Howser of football. He is like 30 years old and he's a genius. So, for football genius, an offense genius. So that's why he's Doogie Howser. And then, yet to be scheduled, are the Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula and the Rams pass game specialist Nate Scheelhaas. They're a little busy right now. They got a game coming up. So those are other people. We are people of interest. We will say. But also, like, the Titans are talking to Mike McCarthy now. So Mike McCarthy's getting out there. Look out. But they're talking to a lot of people. They're even talking to former Arizona head coach John Gannon. And so it appears that they might be going the retread route, the Titans. Now, we could go the retread route. We have Jim Schwartz on our list. Right? Mike McDaniel, he's on our list. Retread coaches. And I see in the comments a lot that, well, Jim Schwartz's record at Detroit was this. It was bad. I don't really look at that. I look at that at a guy who makes mistakes his first time around, learns from it, and then comes back his second time around and does some nice things. Now, take a look at this. These are guys that were fired by one team and then went on to another team and got it done. Some multiple times. I had to go to the lane of small fonts. I apologize. But look at the names on this list. Look at this. Bill Belichick, our guy, fired by us. Well, and then he went to New England and then he won 6 Super Bowls there. Pete Carroll, fired by the Jets in New England, both of them. Then won a Super Bowl with Seattle. Mike Shanahan, back-to-back with the Broncos. Tony Dungy, fired by Tampa, went to Indianapolis. Tom Coughlin, fired by Jacksonville, hired by the Giants, won the Super Bowl, 2 of them. Kubiak, boy, the Broncos. Boy, they are so lucky. Dick Vermeil, remember that? From Philly to the Rams. So retread coaches can get it done. Like they get fired at one place and take over at another place and do well. So I wouldn't be that concerned about it. And these are the kind of guys I like. I think Schwartz fits the bill. He really does. But here's what I'm gonna say. Like, if we go the young guru route, hey, if that's what they think is best, whatever. Just better get it done. We could go retread. We could go guru. I just want to win. That's all I want. I want somebody to take our franchise quarterback, completely transform this offense, and let's go. Because the defense is sitting pretty. So that's all I'm saying. But hopefully that calms some of your fears about retread coaches. It happens, man. They can do it, right? Now, speaking of retreads, there are other people out there, like the national pundits. I'm so tired. I'm done with these national pundits talking about how the Browns are going to bring in a veteran quarterback to back up Shedeur. I know, and then the other ones are going, well, Deshaun Watson's there. He might start. Okay, Deshaun Watson is never playing for the Browns again. These national pundits need to understand. Listen to me, national pundits. Watson is done in Cleveland. The owner said, big swing and a miss. It's over. He is never playing for the Browns again. But let me tell you this. We're never going to sign a free agent quarterback that's worth anything, because wait till you see this list. What a disaster. This free agent quarterback market. Holy mackerel. Daniel Jones is, when I tell you Daniel Jones is the best on the list, that's all you need to know. Daniel Jones with Indy got hurt, and he's going to be on the comeback trail now. Mariota, there's our guy Flacco. We're not running around doing that again. Malik Willis, okay, maybe Malik Willis. Malik Willis could be the best because at least he's not hurt. Green Bay's backup. And Aaron Rodgers, Garoppolo, Taylor, we've already kicked the tires on. We did that Tyrod Taylor thing. Gardner Minshew, Trey Lance, Russell Wilson, Trubisky. He's from Menor. He's from Ohio. He's from here. But, maybe, you know what? Okay, I'm going to say maybe Mitch Trubisky. Maybe. I'll give that one a maybe. Only because he's not that old. He's from here. He might want to come here, back up Shedeur. Because I keep telling you Dylan Gabriel's going to but we could do better than Dylan Gabriel as a backup quarterback. Zach Wilson, remember him? Ooh, boy. So he's a possibility. I don't want him here. But then look at the rest of his name. There's your buddy. There's Pickett. Kenny Pickett. Carson Wentz. Oy vey. Man, how about Pickett? Goes to Vegas, and man, he had every opportunity to win that job because Geno Smith was brutal. Man, and he couldn't do it. They played him some at the end, but man, tells you everything you need to know about that. But this whole thing, man, there's nobody out there. There's going to be nobody on the free agent quarterback market that we want, we need. This is all lining up. People got to stop talking. People got to stop talking about any other quarterback but Shedeur, because Shedeur Sanders will be our starting quarterback heading into the 2026 season. No doubt about it. We're not drafting anybody. We're not going to find anybody on the free agent market. Everybody's got to stop this crazy talk. It's not happening. Shedeur is a first-round talent, falls to the fifth round. We got him. Just stop. Here's something else. This, to me, is the telltale sign that the Cleveland Browns see Shedeur Sanders as their quarterback of the future. You know what it is? Social media. Look at this. These are posts. This was yesterday. The best of 12 on their Twitter. This is their X account. They put this out yesterday. Their X account. Shedeur's all over the Browns social. Not just X. Let's do this. Let's do TikTok. Here. TikTok. They did this video. This guy's going like, oh, he dominates all the memes. He's like talking about, it's like he's not talking about Shedeur, but they're making it seem like he's talking about Shedeur, and Shedeur's, in the background. But they're making TikTok videos. This was yesterday. This is what prompted me to start digging. I'm like, man, are they like, yeah, they are. Then look at this. This is Instagram. Talking to Shedeur. Shedeur liked Cody Ford's catch. That's the Bengals lineman that caught that pass right the game before we played him and went down there and beat him. They got Shedeur on Instagram. They got him everywhere. These are the Browns' social media platforms that Shedeur Sanders is on. All over the place. So featuring him, that signals to me the organization sees him as a key face of the franchise, right? Am I right? Geez. The team's comfortable tying their public image to him, right? Isn't that what you do with your franchise quarterback? Don't you want to hitch your wagon to his image? Sure you do. Strong fan base. Nothing wrong with that. And the volume of the post. Does that not make you feel a little more comfortable about Shedeur and what the Browns have planned for him going into next season? Come on. They obviously see him then way more than just a camp arm. Come on. You know who I don't see on any of the socials? Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is nowhere to be found. And so I just think, too, that just signifies the rift between Barry and Haslam and Stefanski on Shedeur. It just... Because Gabriel is nowhere to be found. Shedeur's everywhere. Shedeur's on all their socials. They're putting him out there all over. The social media team can't get enough of Shedeur. Face of the franchise. Franchise quarterback. Quarterback of the future. That's what you do. You get them all over your socials. So that to me tells you everything you need to know going into this season. Shedeur Sanders is QB1. Stop with the talk of there's nobody else. QB1 is Shedeur Sanders. Let's move on, and please, let's just act accordingly. Shedeur Sanders is Shedeur. QB1. Done. That's it. All right? Got it? Settled? All right. Onward to the viewer comments. I wanted to try and do a Willy Wonka thing there. Remember when he's like, strike that, reverse it, onward. Couldn't come up with it. But I digress. Viewer comments brought to you today first by Jeff O'Donnell. John Simeo, who says, Udinski character seems to be intriguing. He does seem intriguing. Doogie Howser is intriguing. He's like the Mensa of football or something. He's probably one of those guys that graduated high school at 12 or something. Went to college and graduated then by 15. He's supposed to be the guru if that's the way they want to go, Jeff O'Donnell, 7098. If they draft a quarterback, my head will explode. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is no need to draft a quarterback. We just went through it. Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback. And here's what I'll vote. I'll vote for this. I'll vote Mitch Trubisky. Get him in there as the backup. Although I don't think Buffalo's going to let him go because I think they really like him. But that's the only backup quarterback I would bring in here. Mitch Trubisky. I think that might be it. And I don't really realize. We got Gabriel, but I'll tell you what, man. Shedeur's durable. So that's what I kept saying. Like, if whoever is the backup, they're never going to play because Shedeur is so durable. He doesn't come out. He lost half of his finger and only missed a couple plays. He doesn't come out. So, but you're right, Jeff. My head will explode too if they draft a quarterback. I'm right there with you. Leslie Pearson, 7711, says, I don't think the Browns should hire Jesse Minter because he's a defensive coordinator that would not be good for Jim Schwartz. We need to keep Jim Schwartz in Cleveland. I wish the Browns would hire Jim Schwartz as their next head coach. I really do. So Leslie really wants to see Jim Schwartz become the head coach. But I would say this, Leslie, if Minter did come here, if he was the head coach and Schwartz, they could convince him to stay on as DC, that's a match made in heaven because their defenses are very similar. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Then you give Tommy Boy or whoever full reign of the offense. Say, here you go. Knock yourself out. Go out there and score 35 points a game. Let's go. Get it done. That's what you have to do. If you have the two, you have the defensive-minded head coach with the defensive coordinator. You need a strong offensive coordinator who's going to be able to. Is it Tommy Boy? I don't know. That's where, like Mike McDaniel. Can you imagine that triumvirate? Ooh, McDaniel, the OC, with Minter, head coach, and Schwartz, the defensive coordinator. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Snoop Patrol V says, Schwartz makes the most sense to me. He's familiar with the Cleveland, and he has been head coach before. You can add another coordinator who's experienced, and the other could be experienced or up and coming. Being a coordinator isn't rocket science. Well, you know what? Tell Stefanski that, because to him it was rocket science, because our offense was complete trash the whole time he was here. But I digress. Sorry, Snoop. Back to Snoop. Having an in-house leader who is respected is essential. In my opinion, gotta say this so I don't upset the keyboard warriors. Go Browns. Well, look, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's where this Minter thing kind of sets up. You're not going to get one of these offensive coordinators to go lateral. Like, you're not getting this Ram special. Well, I mean, maybe you might have a chance there since he's only pass game specialist with the Rams. You might be able to get him to come here and be offensive coordinator. But everything I hear is they love Tommy Rees. And I think Tommy Rees was stuck under Kevin Stefanski and really couldn't do what he wanted to do. And now he will be able to do what he wants to do. So I think there are options there at offensive coordinator. And I think the safety net, the fail-safe is Tommy Rees. Just like I think the wedding, whatever happens with Schwartz, he's the fail-safe. He's, at worst, they can offer him more money to stay on and be the DC and keep him here. So there are so many plates spinning right now, it's hard to keep up. So at some point, we're just going to have to say, football gods, take the wheel and just let us know when it's all said and done. Rodney Jefferson, 1539, says, Schwartz was not that good of a head coach in Detroit. And this is why I did what we did off the top, because I get a lot of comments like this. And you can't live in that world. The other thing is this. He made his mistakes there. Here, he will be a head coach. I would expect him to have learned from his mistakes. The bottom line is the guys play for Schwartz. That's why everybody is like, man, give it to Schwartz. That's why I was saying it week 2. I mean, guys play for him. They like him. They respect him. The veterans all stood up and said, man, this guy deserves to be a head coach. It's hard to deny that, man. That is, you can't put a price on that. That's more than half the battle if you're a head coach, especially in the NFL. If your players are picking up what you're putting down, I mean, that's the biggest ingredient in the recipe for success. And we will end today with Luke Jonathan -BAN. Now, Luke was talking about Tomlin and how he wanted Tomlin and he wanted Tomlin to come here and coach the Browns. And I had to break it to him. I'm like, I think Tomlin is going to take some time off and he's going to go fishing and hunting and who knows what else. Bird watching, because he's tired and he just needs some time away from football. Could end up in a studio or something. Come there. But the other thing that I told him, I'm like, Pittsburgh still holds the rights to Mike Tomlin. So it's not like you could just go get him. You will have to work out a trade with Mike Tomlin to get him. And so then Luke said, well then, listen, if we get a new stadium, we need cheerleaders because if we aren't winning, we need something nice to look at. I was like, well, all right. But we are going to be winning. The Browns we've never had cheerleaders. I don't know, man. I think cheerleaders at a football game, I feel bad for them because you don't really see them. Like you just look over them the whole time. Pro games, college games, high school games. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong, but that's been my experience. I don't know. You hardly, I guess during timeouts, but they're more noticeable basketball because, the timeout, they go out in the middle of the floor. You see them. They don't really have time to run out into the field and do stuff. But, all right, Luke, I'll call Jimmy and I'll put in a request for you to see if we can't get the cheerleaders at the new stadium in 2029. All right. Minter's here. We'll see how it plays out. And then tomorrow is the Doogie Howser of football. He'll be here tomorrow. So will the prediction pen. The prediction pen will help us sort all this out tomorrow. So never fear. We will take care of it. We'll find out who the new head coach will be thanks to the prediction pen. Maybe I'll drive it over to Berea. They can use it for help to find a coach. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Thanks so much for joining us. Go Browns! We will see you next time.